no parking. 842 here from 105.7 Light FM. Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation. Perhaps an advisor, maybe a set of tarot cards these days might be good too. It's time to check in and find out what's happening with your money this morning after a weird afternoon yesterday. On the phone, Phillip Statler from Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring. Phillip, good morning. Have we got any new gossip out of Washington?
Hey, good morning, Dave. It is, we got this spat between Musk and Trump. So, it depends on who opens their mouth as to what happens in the marketplace. And yesterday, it led to a down day.
Boy, did it ever. We ended up, just to give everybody a picture as to where we ended up, the Dow ended up down 108 points, Standard & Poor's down 31.5, NASDAQ tanked down 0.8%, 162 points. And everybody's saying the driving force between all of it was basically a 14% decline in Tesla stocks. Since they're one of the Magnificent Seven, they really dragged NASDAQ down big time. And all that because we got two rich guys, one of whom's the most powerful person in the world, the other one's the richest person in the world, throwing rocks at each other like kindergartners on a playground. It got downright silly. First of all, Musk says he says, okay, yeah, we should impeach Trump. Then Trump comes back and threatens to pull all of his government contracts. And Musk says, oh, fine, then we're going to mothball the SpaceX rocket that rescues the astronauts from up at the space station. And then Musk comes out and says, by the way, I know Trump is in the Epstein papers. It got silly. I got no other term for it.
It did. It did get, but the media loved it.
Oh, yeah, the media had an absolute blast with it. Now watch, over the next few days, Elon Musk has been the bogeyman to every congressional Democrat out there. Now that he said yes to somebody who on X said they ought to impeach Trump, he's going to become the best friend of every Democrat in Congress when they start giving speeches. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. He'll start to get all kinds of kudos.
Oh, yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and so goes the world of politics. In terms of real brass tax stuff, we start the morning out with the government data dump, and it's nothing but good news this morning. We were thinking like 125,000 new jobs created last month, according to the government. End up coming out with 139,000 jobs. Unemployment holds steady at 4.2%, and we're actually earning more. I mean, everything sounds pretty good this morning on the data dump front, doesn't it?
It does, Dave, and we saw the futures indicate that. They were already in the green this morning, but that pushed them even higher when those news reports came out on the unemployment.
It didn't hurt a bit after the markets closed last night. Somebody said, you guys are better than that, to Musk on X. And he said, oh, all right, you're right. I won't mothball SpaceX rockets. A little bit of peace in the valley wouldn't hurt in the least for the moment. But, yeah, the economic news is solidly good this morning. Just to quantify the damage that was done to Tesla, Tesla lost nearly $200 billion in market cap since Musk left the Doge job. So government employment was evidently good for Tesla until he left, and then all of a sudden it's $200 billion in market cap down. It might not even be magnificent anymore among the big seven, huh?
Well, that could be. I see that it has climbed back this morning a little bit, so maybe got some of it back anyway.
That would be nice. Just other junk on unemployment news, because we've been talking about it so much lately. Amazon says they're going to start trying to use humanoid robots for delivery instead of warm bodies, which means fewer people on the employment rolls. And Winnebago announced the other day that job cuts are coming at Winnebago, too. We had one of the other big RV industries yesterday reporting. Now Winnebago is saying they're thinking about cutting jobs. The pressure is definitely downward. I mean, we beat the street as far as the number of jobs created, but we do kind of need to mention that last month we created 177,000 new jobs. So 139 is not as big a decrease as they expected, and it is overachieving the expectations, but still, we're definitely winding down a little bit on the employment front. Wouldn't you agree?
It is slowing down, Dave, and as expected, right, with the economy slowing down, the tariffs putting some uncertainty out there. It just kind of makes sense that things are going to slow down a little bit, and people are going to be really cautious before they hire.
I suspect so, and it's kind of showing up in the raw numbers that we're getting too. Even, like I said, better than expected doesn't necessarily mean a decline is good news. So we turn around, we got a little bit of peace in the valley on the kids playing in the playground. We got good news on the unemployment front. There aren't a whole lot of reports due out today, but one of the ones that you did run across is one of those magnificent seven stocks, the Broadcom people. They make a lot of the parts that generate our internet connectivity. How did they do last quarter?
They did well, Dave. They beat by about 2 cents a share, came in at $1.58. They beat on revenue by just a little bit. But they are getting beat up this morning, Dave. They're down 2.3%. But what they're focusing on this time, which is not something we talk about a lot, is free cash flow. Their free cash flow number is coming in less than expected. And so that's got the analysts and the traders putting a little damper on Broadcom.
I got to assume that implies that there's downward pressure on any dividend future for them. That free cash flow is almost an elemental element of my business in terms of when our publicly traded companies report, but it's not that commonly quoted on the big companies, is it?
No, it's not. It's not that often does it come to the forefront.
That's intriguing. Any other indications we got this morning as to which direction we're going?
We got a couple things that are out there that people are going to know. Lululemon reported, and really they did okay for the quarter. They came in at 260 versus 258, so they beat by 2 cents a share. Revenue was a little bit better than expected. Guidance, though, guidance. They really cut their guidance for the quarter and for the year. That's putting a real hurting on them this morning. They're trading down 19% this morning.
That's got to be one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. If we can't sell yoga pants, we got a problem.
Yeah, that's a big deal there. The other one that we have that's kind of in the same boat is DocuSign. DocuSign beat on both the top and bottom line, but they came in and lowered their billings, what they bill people, lower than anticipated. And they reduced their guidance for revenue basically this next quarter. So it's got DocuSign trading down almost 19% as well.
Ooh, and since they do so much of the bulk of things like real estate transactions by remote control, I would imagine that probably isn't indicative of an impending slowdown on housing, which we've already been seeing anyway.
Yeah, that's true. We've definitely been seeing a slowdown in housing. I mean, just look at the mortgage rates.
Absolutely. Anything else you see that's hot and interesting this morning?
No, that's really about it today, Dave.
We'll take it a little quiet. Wouldn't be bad after yesterday afternoon. Off day yesterday, led by our dear friends at Tesla. 45 minutes before we open this morning. What are we looking at? Right
now on the indexes, we're looking pretty good. The S&P 500 is up 0.7. The S&P 500 up 0.8, and then the NASDAQ 100 is up almost 0.9 this morning. The big winner right now is the Russell 2000, up a little over 1.1%. On the other side of the coin, we've still got silver up. It must have closed down a little bit last night, but it's back up to 36.40 this morning. That's 1.7% increase. Gold, not so much. It's up about 0.1%. Crude oil, though, Russia needs to get back into production because we're up another 1/3%, $63.60 a barrel right now.
Well, poo on that. Beats 80, but I like a downward trend better than upward. The Asian Rim market was reaction to our silliness over the yesterday afternoon hours. It mixed bag across the Asian Rim. At 6 a.m., the indexes were literally all over creation. The two mainland Chinese indexes, one was up, one was down. I got a directionless close in the Asian Rim. Over in Europe, they're kind of breathing a sigh of relief after peace in the valley kind of began. The average European index up by, call it about 0.15%. Halfway through their trading day, green ink pretty much everywhere except in Germany, where they're off fractionally. Getting my retirement together so I can plan on when I can retire, if I can retire. How can I get a hold of you to get my plans intact?
Then give us a call at 863-382-0037 to schedule their core retirement analysis. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m. and 95.3 FM.
And every weekday morning, you and me around here most of the time, checking in on a day-by-day basis. You have a great weekend, my friend, and I'll see you next week.
All right, buddy. You too.
Thank you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler.
Imagine for a moment that an intense